Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be comparing two popular growth ETFs, one by Charles Schwab and the other one by Vanguard. As you all know, these funds go by SCHG and VUG. I want to talk about these because they have been changing in the past few years. Let's look at this chart that I like by Stock Analysis. The website will be in the link description below. If we look at the max time frame here, we can see exactly where this is going. We can see what this looks like year by year, which is really nice. So we are on the max. Now I want to go ahead and show you on the 6 month here because we can see where this has been going, right? So we can see SCHG, not to get confused with SCHD, which is the dividend one. This is the growth fund by Charles Schwab, is actually doing very well with Vanguard. We can look at year to date and it's quite different, right? Let's look at the 1 year. Interesting again. And the 5 year, we can start seeing a pattern here. Now, remember, like they always say, past performance is not indicative of future performance, but it's something to keep in mind as these two ETFs are so incredibly close to each other. Now, let's go look at the performance down here. We can see what the average return was. So since inception, now we can see SCHG has outperformed VUG since inception at 16.21% versus the 11.68%. That SCHG is color blue. We can see on all of the categories on the 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year inceptions, it has been performing better. Because of the market downturn, we have been seeing this actually suffer more in recent time frame. That's why I wanted to do this video. As we all know, February just ended and we're going into March. So let's see how these funds compare, but it's interesting to see. So we can come down to the top 25 holdings and we can see that they are almost identical. They differ in some ways, but in other ways they are very similar. We can see the weight in each category here, but I think the most important thing to note here is when we come up to performance, we can actually see it by the numbers. So we also have the graphs, but I also like to look at the percentages. We can see out of a 10-year return, which is leading the way, and that is SCHG at 334.28%. And we can see on the 5-year return, SCHG is returning 151.27% versus 138.42%. The thing with this fund to keep in mind is that the price per share is quite low. So let's look at that, right? VUG, which is Vanguard's growth fund, is sitting at $405.73 at the time of this recording. SCHG is $27.28. Quite the contrasting in the prices. Now, if we look at the profiles, we can see when their inception dates were. Vanguard has the edge on this. It's been around longer, but since the inception, we can see right here, SCHG has outperformed it. Now, if we want to look at the overview, we can see the expense ratios are exactly the same. So this brought up a topic for me to think about, which is the better fund in a long-term view. And I think that comes down to how you view these companies and fund managers. From my understanding, and I am still learning more about the details of these funds as time goes on, who's managing them, how they actually do the ins and outs of managing these portfolios. I am liking more the Charles Schwab version of this because the price is cheaper to enter in these shares, and also the performance has done better. Now, that's not to say that it will change in the future, or we need to look at this in the short term. And short term speaking, the fund has outperformed. On the 1 month and on the year to date, we can see that it has actually been underperforming VUG. So would I add this to my portfolio, Roth IRA or taxable brokerage account? Absolutely yes. I think it's worth having there. I think the numbers speak for itself. We can look at the max time frame here and we can see that it has been outperforming quite significantly VUG. Let me know if you have any more questions about this. I always like talking about these technical aspects of ETF comparisons. Please drop them down below. Like always, thank you for supporting the channel. If you have any more questions, please reach out. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.